healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
The DVDL Customer Support Unit is now open. Customers can book appointments for written and driving tests through DVDL's hotline at 945-8344. That's 945-8344. Brand Source is putting the sizzle into the season with their fall cooking sale. Fall into savings with 15% off on all cooking products, including gas and electric ranges, cooktops, microwave ovens, built-in wall ovens, and speed ovens. Luxury brands included. Don't miss out. Shop now and save 15% on cooking products before this offer ends on October 31st. Cook up your best dishes with Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Call 623-5000 for more details.
From 8th to the 30th of November, the Pirates Week Festival will embark on a 3-week journey under the theme of setting sail through time. Join us for a host of free activities for all to enjoy. Immerse yourself in pirate folklore, journey to each district day, and celebrate Caymanian culture while you connect with friends new and old. For more information on events and activities, please visit piratesweek.com. Brought to you by the Ministry of Border Control, Labor and Culture.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We still have two callers on hold, so we're going straight to the phone lines. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, ma'am?
Oh, I'm tired. Anyway, I heard you speaking about the ads for the coastal works.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you the truth, they are supposed to put the registration section along with the block and parcel number, and I don't know why they never put it. Maybe they don't want the public to know where it is, but they need to put it. The registration section goes along with the block and parcel number. And then the print that's in the paper, most of the time, it is so small and so fine, you really can't hardly read it. You would have to have a good magnifying glass. Also, the adverts with lost land certificates, my goodness, they use the papers use the biggest space and have the print so fine, and they do not need even half of the size that they put it in.
Mm-hmm.
But they just off of putting these lost land certificates in a large section of the paper, and it does not need to be nowhere near that size.
And you would know all of this because you have experience in that area. You're one of our experts.
Yeah, so anyway, that's all I have to say for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hey, good morning to you, Mr. O.C. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm well, for the most part. Thank God for Friday. It's good. Before I start, what I wanted to say, O.C., or why I called,
mm-hmm.
I want to just say something to Radio Cayman, and you guys know that I love Radio Cayman, or you should, and I think highly of you guys. But I think you really need to, and for your own purposes, maybe you should sit and listen to it. Like use today's show, for example. And I know I've heard a number of people say it, but you're taking too long with your commercials and the amount of information that you're trying to pile on. I know it's a business decision when you talk about having sponsored ads around key times like the talk show, but the talk show is for the people. So if you use this morning, for example, Mr. Ossie, from 8 o'clock until 8:21 is when you got to customers. So 20 minutes of constant information. There was the news, there was the weather, there was a number of things, and then you got to your talk show, and then you took a commercial break like 10 minutes into that. So at 8:30, you took another commercial break again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just something for you to think about. I know I've heard it a number of times, but you know, you're really using a lot of time around trying to, squeeze in and make that extra dollar around some ad that is, featured around the talk shows, but it's eating into people's time. Just some constructive feedback.
Okay, thank you for that. And I don't think it is much. So much the dollars, looking for the dollars, but the commitments that that have been made. And what Radio Cayman does. Radio Cayman does a lot more than many of the other radio stations when it comes to providing community information. But we hear you, and it is something that is being taken into consideration. Thank you.
Yeah, man, and I know that. I know that you do, and so I was wrestling with doing it. But I just think, for example, think of your audience and the amount of people are getting in at 8:30. So they only hear you for 10 minutes if they're sitting in traffic. As an example, this morning, and then you know usually when you start the show at 7:30. You do that as well, and they hear like the last 10 minutes. But it's feedback, and I'm sure you got the point. What I wanted to share with you, Mr. O.C., I heard Mr. McField, I think it was on Wednesday, as always, making excellent points. And one of the things that he talked about, and I heard at the last minute, was him sharing. He was making a comment about Caymanians and getting jobs and the reasons why they're not getting jobs. I think the example he was using then was the fact that, you know, people are so lightly paid and they go get, you know, the companies are getting hordes of people on work permit, et cetera, et cetera. And I sat there listening to him, and I've been thinking about this for some time, so I decided to call this morning. I think that's an aspect, and it's a given that we have people in this country, employers in this country, that are looking for ready-made employees. I call it ready-made employees because we've dashed the concept of training out. Many years ago, that was a big part of it, unless you're dealing with, you know, a company like Cayman Airways that focuses on training, or CUC that focuses on training Caymanians and getting them. It doesn't even matter whether you are qualified in a particular area. Wherever it is you go, training is an important component, but I don't want to focus there. That's an obvious thing that is happening in this country, where we're looking for ready-made employees, and these companies are bringing people in on work permit, talking about they're trained already. It doesn't matter how much experience the Caymanian has. But the bigger thing that I think is contributing, it's not that Cayman, and so he made the point that Caymanians may not even apply. It's not that Caymanians are not applying. That's not true. And by the way, for anybody's sake, doesn't mean it's happening to me. I just want to make the point about what I'm aware of. There's a whole lot of loopholes that our government agencies charged with making sure that the laws are followed relevant to work and work permits, Mr. O.C., that are not being carried out, and that I think they should really get serious about. And so this loophole with people who go up for renewals, for example, and a lot of these companies, particularly in the tourism area, are delaying Caymanians' applications until that work permit comes through, and then they do a pile of what I call quick interviews to rule you out rather than trying to rule you in. They're seeking to rule you out, and they delay the application process and the whole nine. There are a number of ways of Caymanians fighting this, and one of them I'll give really quickly, utilizing things like the FOI law, and so and the data protection law. I encourage Caymanians who have been applying for jobs to use the data protection law and to write to that company seeking information, all information that company has on them in regard to their application process. So that company is required to supply them details on the any references that is coming on them, who gave them, where they're coming from. They're required to supply you with all that information. You get to see what it is that company is making that decision on. And then I strongly encourage you then to do an FOI to find out if there's a work permit that has been granted for that particular post that you're applying for. And you can try to make the correlation there. And, of course, you can obviously go to the ombudsman. There's a number of different ways that Caymanians can try to fight this and not just roll over and play dead.
Now, I'm going to interrupt you for a second and ask this. You referred to the fact that especially when it comes to renewal, they may hold back any applications that are made by Caymanians until the renewal process has been